Hello, how y'all doing? It's been a minute. So, I had been trying to stay away from this conversation for a minute. And before I get off into it for real, I want to say that I am a hopeless romantic, and wherever people find love, if it is true and you are happy, like for real happy, I wish you the best, okay? So I don't want nobody talking about I don't like that. No, no, no. Okay. But the passport bros. When I first heard about it, it didn't really bother me because when I was working out driving for the railroad, um, it was a few guys out there that I had encountered that wound up getting a mail by order brides. So I was opened up to the idea of that type of lifestyle, and I'm a person that, to each his own. If that's what you feel you need to do, and, forgive me, but looking at Buddy, I can see why he would make that decision. Okay, I mean, he was he wasn't the cutest, you know. So he wasn't whatever, but I understood why he could have possibly made that choice, and I didn't judge. Okay, so when I started hearing about the passport bros, I was like, oh, okay. They basically kind of doing the same thing, you know. Those are the ones who can't seem to find love in their own backyard for whatever the reason. Maybe they're ostracized, or maybe they just really don't like the roughness that comes along with, I kind of get it. But when I hear these brothers totally bashing black women as a whole, as if they have dated every single one, and know that everyone can't cook and everyone can't keep a house and everyone can't grow hair and every one of them has a nasty attitude, and it's like, who is your mother? And why do you hate her so badly? But you know what? I got a son that doesn't like me. He loves me, I think. We won't get into that. But I can understand how you can be like, with your mother. I think everybody has one of the parents where you like, for whatever the reason. But to have such a hatred, like you have not one aunt that your sister, your child, your daughter, your niece, there's not one woman of color that deserves your respect, and for you not to be dragging women through the mud like this. And then some of the things that I hear them say on the podcast, and I'm sure there's a lot of them who have daughters. What does your daughters think about the things that you are saying about her future self? How does she work through that emotionally? Because as children, you hear your superheroes say certain things, and you take that absolutely to heart. And a lot of times it molds how you think about yourself moving forward through life. You start to say, like, oh, well, I'm just a piece of nothing, worthless. All I'm good for is to be on my back, 'cause that's what Daddy said we do. That's what Uncle Jimmy said we do. Well, that's what I guess that's what I'm supposed to do then. Or maybe they might fight to prove you wrong, but and then before I get to the worst of them all, I just want to throw this in there. Why is it that we aren't checking? And when I say checking, that's an old term, like attracted to the things that we instill in our children. We tell our children to share, be patient, be kind, you can finish the list, because I don't want to make this too long. But when those type of people are grown, the girl who isn't promiscuous and she sits at home and studies and whatever, she's a nerd. She ain't, he too slow for you. You ain't checking for him. Oh, he plays the piano. Oh, who wants that? It's like when as you are cultivating these children, we are telling them to travel the world and see things. But if a young woman gets grown and travels the world, I heard a man say that if he sees that a woman is taking pictures in different places, his first thought process is that different men have took her and flew her out to these places. Which means that for each place that she's visited, she had to bust it wide open to go where she went. But if she has worked hard and put away some money, or she has the type of job that allows her to travel, or none of that crosses your mind. It couldn't possibly be. It has to be that she's busting it wide open and giving it to several men across the globe. And if she is traveling alone, she is finding some sleazy dude at a bar somewhere in the middle of the night at each stop, again, busting it wide open. How did we get to the point where if a person has their stuff together, they're a nerd, they're a lame, they're not fast enough for you, you don't want this doctor because she is too independent, or a lawyer, or a nurse, or whatever, or on the women's side, you don't want this guy because he's too put together and he's not hooping and hollering and cussing and this and that, What is the purpose of teaching our children to have morals if we as a collective don't want to be bothered with the people who have morals? I don't get it. This is crazy. Okay. That was a sidebar. Let's get back to these shenanigans between the guys and the girls. So I was on TikTok. They kicked me off. They won't let me in. Whatever. We're not going to talk about it. I must have gotten in trouble. Anyway, so I'm on TikTok some months back, and I'm watching this uprising. I mean, like, the going back and forth between black men and black women, it was really getting nasty. It was like, you ain't nothing but a jigaboo. I mean, it was like real catty. Oh, I hate women. And I was starting to wonder if, and don't come at me with nothing, because I got family and friends and stuff that are in the same sex communities, okay? I'm gonna just word it like that. But I was starting to wonder, are these mainly people that aren't attracted to men and women? Because they were getting real nasty with each other. I mean, like, real nasty. And I was like, God, this is really getting a little out of hand here. Like, if we keep this up, this is gonna turn into something really, really bad. So I run across this video, and I found his real name, but I'm not gonna get into his real name. But his name on, I think it was YouTube. I think he might have a TikTok as well. But anyway, he calls himself Jason Revolt. This man said that he's calling for men, especially black men, to unalive. You know, you can't say the other word anymore. It's like harassment, you know. Where'd that come from? But anyway, you can't, he's calling for the unaliving of black women. He said the little girls is fine, you know, they coachable and they moldable. But everybody over, I think, 35 or something, I'm not sure if he even gave an age, but he gave you the impression of a certain, you know, type of woman. And with that, I said, okay, about 35 or up, 40 and up, whatever, something like that. But he wants them all. So your grandmama, your mama, some sisters and such, he want out. It's getting bad. Now, I said something about that boy that, and I believe it was premeditated, but I guess him and the girl, I'm just assuming, but I'm guessing that they weren't in a totally committed relationship, okay? And he found something in her phone. So he waited until he got her out in the middle of the water. I mean, he was miles and miles away from shore, and told her to get off of his jet ski because he found something in her phone. Why did you even take her? She didn't deserve, if that was the case, she didn't deserve to have such a wonderful experience. Because the trip out there, you know, across the water, she got to see all of the pretty, and you spent some money to take her out there. You went and did all of that. The way to hurt somebody is to just be gone. If they cared or whatever, you know, if they never gave a hell, then you leaving didn't matter no way. But if they cared a little bit, then you leaving is like, okay, dang, they gone. What do you need? What do I need to spend money to get you back for? For what? Let me drive away with my money. Let me fly away with my money. We dead. Deuces. It's over. It's a wrap. I don't understand people. Why do you have to spend so much time being malicious? And y'all, I'm going to cut this short. But we really need to get to the bottom of what's going on and put a stop to this before it's some problems going on out here between the black and the brown and the blacks and the blacks and the browns and the, because there has been a lot of really craziness going on, and the men are supposed to be the protectors, if not the household, the communities. And if the little girls can't feel protected by anybody, what are we gonna do? This reminds me of that little line in Tupac says something. There'll be a race of babies that hate the ladies. If that brother wasn't a prophet, because what I see going on right now is really, it's strange. Y'all be careful.